Let's say you wanted to hack a Roblox account. How would you go about doing so? Well, there's a lot of ways that you could possibly hack an account. The most popular and effective being social engineering. This is only more apparent when you realize who the target demographic of Roblox are and how gullible they can be. But let's say you want to do things the hard way, really show off your computer skills and make it unnecessarily difficult yet rewarding. Well, you'd take a page out of the playbook of many past Roblox hackers and start with a little something called a very popular method of gaining unauthorized access to a Roblox account is through password guessing. This is referred to as a brute force method due to the use of systematically guessing the password of an encrypted account. Usually, someone will attempt a dictionary-type scheme to do so. What this means is that the attacker uses a dictionary headword to guess the password, and more often than not, this does work. Since many passwords, especially those made by younger users, are weak and vulnerable, they also normally employ a cryptographic hash function of the password to help check against it, though this tends to trend into password cracking more than it does password guessing. Cracking a password is more complicated than simply guessing, but one could argue it's more effective, at least when trying to gain access to multiple accounts. This is because an attacker is working with an acquired list of password hashes, or in some cases, the database itself. The way they would do this is through a sniffing attack. A hacker would intercept network traffic data by using a packet sniffer, which in turn analyzes the network and gains information on communications, on the happenings of the network. This grants the user of the sniffer access to a plethora of information, being a silent watcher of it all. In the context of password cracking, a database of password hashes would be gathered. This means that a bad actor is not guessing the password itself, but the hash function input. And since modern authentication systems use cryptographic hash functions to store hashed values, most would use a pre-computed rainbow table for decrypting them into plaintext passwords. Of course, this is a fairly extreme manner of attempting to hijack a Roblox account, of all things. However, that does not mean that it can't, or hasn't, happened, especially given the many data breaches that Roblox experiences on a near-monthly basis. Not to mention that in 2016, there was a data breach of over 100,000 accounts, committed by a group of individuals through use of a compromised staff account. As such, it's always best to use different and strong passwords for every website that you use, though doing so won't yield such great results if you're the victim of keylogging. Also known as keystroke logging, this process is essentially like password cracking, but minus the guessing. This is because programs are used to record the keys struck on a keyboard, and much like a Trojan, the user of the infected device has no idea every push of their keyboard is being recorded. With this, they can not only obtain the username and password of a single account, but of multiple accounts on the affected device. Of course, keyloggers themselves aren't illegal. In fact, many companies use them on their computers to avoid employees searching, for example, unsightly things while working. But the use of the program decides its legality, and as such, many of these keyloggers are popped into Trojans, viruses, or worms. And it's not just passwords that keyloggers can steal, but credit and debit card information as well, given that for many sites you have to manually input the numbers. And trusting a computer's antivirus to detect these programs won't always work. As stated before, they are legitimate tools that can be used legally, meaning that your machine may inadvertently let in malicious keyloggers without even knowing it. It should go without saying that most Roblox accounts probably won't be targeted by such attacks, because most aren't worth it. High-profile users are the usual targets of these hijackings. Think YouTubers, game devs, and users rich in limiteds and/or Robux, though that doesn't mean it can't happen to you. After all, credit card details are worth their weight in Robux. As such, even though Roblox seems to be a simple website for gaming and socializing, the security of your account can't be neglected, lest you fall into the complicated world of Roblox hacking, either as a victim or participant.